Question ng sarili ninyong rules para mailagay ka lang, Senator Gatchalian, as acting president dahil pro tempore ka, ano yung itsura mo dyan? Ano yung itsura mo dyan? Alam mo, hindi mo siguro na-feel yan, Senator Gatchalian, kasi hindi ka abogado. Kasi kami mga abogado, we will not put ourselves in that position. Bakit hindi si Kiko Pangilinan ang nag-pro tempore at nag-acting president? Siguro hindi siya pumayag. Kasi that's very funny, hindi ba? Katatawanan ka ng lahat ng abogado pag ginawa mo yan. Kaya siguro bakit sabi ko, bakit din si Gatchalian nilagay nila dyan? Sana di si Kiko na lang kasi siya lang ang abogado dyan. Ba't din nila nilagay si Kiko? Bakit hindi? Siguro hindi pumayag si Kiko. Kasi kung abogado ka, na mabuting abogado ka, hindi ka talaga papayag na ma-divide na itong Senado, tapos ikaw ang gagawing sangkalan. Yan. Senator Kiko Pangilinan from the UP College of Law. Amo, itaas mo ang bandila natin. Masyado namang senador na kayo. Feeling nyo, justices of the Supreme Court pa rin kayo. At yung interpretation nyo is favoring you. Sobra namang ano yun, interpretation na self-interest nyo yun. Kaya, I'm calling them out. Ito pong June 15, kahapon, ay 81st birthday ng idol natin na si Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. Hindi lamang senador, kung hindi jurist at nahalal bilang ICC judge at naging profesor sa UP College of Law. Alam na natin kung gaano natin siya hinahangaan, pero ngayong nakikita natin yung mga kaguluhan sa Senado, namimiss natin si Miriam Defensor Santiago, hindi po ba? Kaya pakinggan natin si MDS.
Constitutional analysis is a field of art in itself. It is a technical field. Kaya 4 na taon ang abogasiya. Kung baski sino lang pala pwedeng mag-interpret ng Constitution, bakit pa tayo may mga abogado? Kanya-kanya na lang. The usual exceptions are the Bill of Rights. Yan. Self-executory yan. Basahin mo, sundin mo. And constitutional provision. Pag sinabi ng batas, hindi pwede ito, yan, sundin mo kaagad. Pero lahat, hindi mo pwedeng masunod kaagad-agad. Mag-antay ka kung anong batas ang ipapasa ng Kongreso. Wala kaming ginagawa sa Kongreso kung hindi mag-antay kung anong sinabi ng Constitution. That is the main function of legislation.
Kaya naman, sana nakikinig yung iba dyan. Lalo na si Congresswoman Luistro na ginigiit niya na pwede daw ang bilangan sa 2/3 para sa impeachment ay ibabase na lang sa 22 senators at hindi 24. Teka lang, Congresswoman Luistro, hindi ba Congresswoman ka? Doon ka sa House of Representatives, bakit ka ba nagko-komentaryo opinion dyan tungkol sa 2/3 vote ng Senate? Kaya, babalikan ho natin ang mga issues itong nakaraang linggo tungkol dyan sa conflict sa ating Senado. At makakasama natin ngayong araw ay si Attorney Regal Oliva from Cebu, isang abogada na may malawak na karanasan sa larangan ng public finance, local governance, sa loob ng mahigit 16 na taon, 16 years of public service in Cebu. Naging saksi at bahagi siya ng mga proseso ng pamahalaan. Kilala rin si Attorney Oliva sa kanyang kakayahang gawing simple at madaling maintindihan ang mga komplikadong usaping legal dahilan upang mas mailapit niya ang batas at mga isyong pampubliko sa karaniwang Pilipino. Bukod dito, isa siyang kilalang social media commentator na hindi umiiwas sa mga mainit at kontrobersyal na isyu at naging laging handa magbahagi ng kanyang legal na pagsusuri at pananaw para sa ikalilinaw ng mahalagang usaping hinaharap ng ating bansa ngayon. Kaya please welcome our dear Attorney Regal Oliva. Napakasikat ho nito. Hindi lamang sa Cebu, kundi sa buong Visayas. Milyon ang followers niya. Pati ako ay follower niya. Welcome, Attorney Regal, please.
Attorney Bing, good afternoon. Thank you very much for inviting me in your show. No, I am always also following you because since then, idol na kita.
Matay, Mutual Admiration Fan Club, mandi ay ni.
Amo man kay Silimanian man tagdo mga Bisaya.
That's right. My fellow Silimanian, Attorney Oliva. Now, Attorney Regal, na maraming nabigla nung ang IBP board ay nag-issue ng statement. So akala ng tao, tayong lahat ng mga member ng IBP, yun na rin ang stand natin. Pero lumabas po kayo ng sarili ninyong opinion na contrary sa IBP board statement na yan. Ito po ba ang IBP board, bago sila naglabas ng statement, ay nagkonsulta sila sa mga IBP chapters, kagaya dyan sa Cebu?
As far as I'm concerned, Attorney Bing, there were no consultations done by the Board of Governors and even by the President of the National Integrated Bar of the Philippines, because I sit down as one of the advisors of the IBP Cebu City Chapter Board, and there was no consultation being done. So it was already a slap on our face that we were made to understand their stand as regards the Senate squabble, especially on the interpretation of the quorum. And it seems to many lawyers and to many of our countrymen that the IBP decision was already binding for all lawyers. And I would beg to disagree, Attorney Bing.
Kaya, what's your comment and opinion about the issue that the IBP board dwelt on?
As a lawyer and as an officer in court, I respectfully disagree with the statement or with the comments made by the IBP or IBP National Board. I respectfully submit that their opinions, because for me, what they made were just mere opinions of the Board of Governors, and it is not binding to all the lawyers in the country. It does not also say, it should not also connote that all lawyers must agree to whatever statements that the Board of Governors released. It should have been noted as well, Attorney Bing, that being in a leadership position like the Board of Governors, they should have had consultations with the different chapters in the whole country, so that we can also express and submit our own opinions as regards to the matter at hand. Kasi unfair naman na sabihin ng IBP na ito na ang statement namin at tayo namang mga abogado, we have different dissenting or consenting opinions as regards one issue of a law.
Lalo na po dyan sa constitutional provision, Attorney Regal, doon sa the Senate President shall be elected by a majority of all senators.
All.
Ano po ang opinion nyo dyan?
Because it's very, we cannot change the Constitution. I mean, the 1986 Constitution states very much clearly, Article 6, Section 16, Paragraph 1, it states that the Senate shall elect its president by not only a majority, it should be by a majority vote of all its members. Very clear. Why? There's no room for interpretation. It should be all its members. It's not, a member of 22 or a member of the members available to vote. Hindi naman sinabi yun eh. All its members. So even though if there are absent members, then it should be computed as all its members.
So even if they are absent, they're still included in the all 24.
Correct. And you know, when we say that Bato is hiding, that's speculative. We don't know that Bato is truly hiding. How can we say? I mean, yes, there is a warrant of arrest, but Senator Bato de la Rosa can still be considered as a member of the Senate.
Yes.
And if you say that Jinggoy Estrada was arrested, then the Senate, as a co-equal branch of government of the judiciary, may have its coercive power, maybe can request the court for leave, no? So that Jinggoy Estrada can attend. Not that they will just hold a meeting immediately and assume that they already have a quorum because there are two subtracted senators of minus Jinggoy and minus Bato. I think that's a wrong interpretation on the subject of quorum.
And and this is why the Senate leadership or kung sino ba talaga ang Senate President ngayon ay malaking question mark pa para sa maraming tao. Kaya nag-file na ng petition sa Supreme Court si Senate President Alan Cayetano. Pero sa rules of the Senate, nakalagay din, hindi ba, Attorney Regal, na sabihin na natin na tama si Gatchalian, na siya ay acting president dahil absent daw si SP Cayetano. Sabihin na natin na tama siya, na siya ay valid na binoto siya dyan. Pero nakalagay pa rin sa rules of the Senate na hanggang walang na-elect na Senate President, ang existing or incumbent na Senate President ay siya pa rin gagawa ng functions ng Senate President. Yan po ang nasa rules.
I agree with you, Attorney Bing. But the rules of the Senate also, when it comes to election of officers, is very clear. That election of officers, and the Senate pro tempore is one of the officers, it should be elected by all its members, majority of all its members.
Just like the Senate President.
Just like the Senate President. So, in other words, the election of Senate pro tempore of Win Gatchalian is not legal.
Yes.
It is an illegitimate election. So, how can we respect the Senate under the leadership of Win Gatchalian when they are already violating their own rules as a Senate, and they are also violating the Constitution per se. So I don't know where the powers emanate from, but I cannot even consider them as a de facto leadership, Attorney Bing, because paano maging de facto when the law is very clear?
Oh, yeah.
Wala naman, hindi naman, the other senators are still existing. They have not exercised the coercive power of the Senate for all the senators to be present during the time of election if they need to change leadership.
Yes.
So as of now, it seems that it is obvious that Win Gatchalian's group or bloc does not have legal standing to occupy the leadership positions that they elected themselves on. So I don't understand where they're coming from. I cannot fathom their way of thinking that they would say that they are the legitimate group when they are actually just 12, Attorney Bing.
Yeah.
Kung 12 kayo, may deadlock. At kung deadlock ang Senado, it favors the status quo.
Correct.
At sino ang status quo dito? Si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano as Senate President, Lauren Legarda as Senate Pro Tempore. So, deadlock sila ngayon 12 versus 12. Hindi pwedeng 12 versus 10 kasi wala daw si Jinggoy at wala si Bato. That is very wrong. It should be computed as majority of all because walang senador na namatay. Walang senador na nag-resign. Walang senador na na-expel sa Senate. So in other words, on the basis of their computation, all senators are still senators of the Republic of the Philippines.